Dear students, today we will learn a graph traversal algorithm. Tree traversal algorithm is already studied. Many times we have seen that tree traversal algorithm is being implemented using pre-order, post-order and in-order methods. In addition to that, we also have seen depth first search and breadth first search for tree traversal algorithms. So whenever we try to traverse a tree, we will have an option with which we will try to visit almost all the nodes available in the tree. In tree and graph, there is a difference. So in the tree, we do not have cycles exist. We also have a starting node known as a root. These two things are not available in the graph. That is why the methods which are used for traversing a tree and a graph are almost different. Since the names are similar, depth first search and breadth first search, but the behavioral operation for graph and tree is almost different. That is why we'll try to learn depth first search and breadth first search for the graph traversal algorithm. So whenever uh, we say that there is a graph, the graph is implemented using the nodes, and the nodes are connected with the edges, and this vertices known as nodes are in addition to the edges known or declared as a graphs. So these graphs are used for various applications. One of the most popular application is shortest path algorithm. So whereas this has been many times used for finding a shortest path from source to destination, or from node A or destination A to destination B. So whenever we will have to find the shortest path for the graph, the application, there are many algorithms which has been used. So we'll try to learn that in the next lecture. But today we'll understand graph traversal algorithm. So in a graph traversal algorithm, so we have few very well-known algorithms. Those are depth first search, breadth first search, Prim's algorithm and Kruskal's algorithm. So today we'll start with the depth first search algorithm. So in the depth first search algorithm, so we have a graph defined mathematically as a G is equal to V comma E, whereas V represents number of vertices in the graph. Those are sometimes, in some books it may have been represented with the nodes, but we see it as a vertices, and the edges are connected between the two vertices or multiple vertices in the graph. So we have the vertices V belongs to all the edges. So E is equal to the edge is represented with the vertex. The predecessor, the relation between the vertices is represented with the relational operator here and the E. And V belongs to almost all the V's here. Then we have V's predecessor. Whenever we want to say that U is connected to V with some reference, so this particular reference or this particular node which is connected to U is represented either with the predecessor or a successor, the node next to that or the node previous to that. So for representing that, we have this particular option to say that V's predecessor is equal to V dot pi. So in this particular algorithm, few colors have been used. So the colors are white is equal to not visited. Whenever we have a graph and we want to traverse the graph, then we will have to classify whether this particular node has been visited or not. If it has not been visited, then we'll represent it with the white color. If it is visited or discovered, we have a word like discovered, first time visited, then we'll say that gray color is used for representing that particular node. We have a black color. So this black color is shaded for that particular vertex only when all the related or neighbors or adjunct vertices of that particular vertex has been discovered. Then only we'll go with the black color shading for that particular vertex. So in this particular depth first search method, a timestamp is also maintained. So this particular timestamp will help to understand the level of a vertex in that particular graph. So the level of at which level the vertex is from the during the traversing method. So there are number of applications exist, and we are very much interested in understanding the applications of all this uh, algorithms. So in depth first search, or this depth first search algorithm is used for many applications such as topological sorting. Then scheduling problems are also being solved using this depth first search method. We have a cycle detection in a graph. Sometimes we need to check whether the cycle exists in the graph or not. If the cycle exists in the graph, then we will have to decide which particular problem solving method should be applicable for that. We also use this depth first search algorithm for solving puzzles with only one solution, where there are puzzles exist where we have multiple solutions, but we cannot use this particular algorithm for that. Whenever only one solution for a puzzle exists, then we can go for using this depth first search method. Some of the examples like maze or Sudoku puzzles. After that, we'll try to understand the algorithm. So here is the algorithm. So this algorithm is very well explained. In this algorithm, a DFS function, and input to this DFS function is a graph. G is equal to V comma E. We have already seen. For each vertex U, see, we have number of vertices exist in the graph. We will start from any of the vertex, but during this particular vertex we will have to visit almost all the vertices one after another, and we will start with first. So this is the initialization stage. In this initialization stage, we have to color almost all the vertices as a white. So this for loop is for that. What does this for loop do? For each vertex U, starting from 1 to n, so first vertex we will color. So U dot color is an attribute of this particular vertex is equal to white. Then U dot predecessor, so the predecessor or the parent of this particular vertex is null. Right now it's null. So, and the timestamp is equal to 0. So we'll initialize the color and the predecessor for almost all the vertices as white and nil. So it means that we are just initializing almost all the vertices. Then the timestamp is initialized to 0. Further, as I said, the timestamp is maintained in this particular algorithm. So for each vertex U, which is of a set of vertices, what we do, if U dot color is equal to white. See, what we have done in the previous section is we have colored almost all the vertices to white and nil. So if we collect the first vertex, it is definitely going to be a white. So we will call a next function g dot u for that. We will send this u because this is undiscovered. The first vertex we are going to send it to the function to visit. So this is the input g dot v to this particular DFS visit function is called. So this u is a vertex. For that we have to assign a timestamp because it is visited first level. Then we'll maintain a 0 plus 1 is the first one timestamp is assigned to u dot d is equal to time. So the vertex is visited first layer in the graph, that is why one timestamp is maintained. Then u dot color is equal to green. Since we say that we will be using three colors, one is white, the second one is gray, and third is black. So we have discovered the vertex, that is why we'll assign it as a gray. So first it was unvisited, that is why it was white. Now it is discovered, that is why we will go with the gray color. So this particular vertex is shaded with the gray, and after that we will have to check almost all the vertices which are adjacent to u, with the one which we have selected. All the adjacent vertex of u are verified whether the adjacent vertex of u is white. If it is white, if it is undiscovered, then we'll go and discover it. So we will assign the predecessor v dot predecessor of the adjacent vertex is u, because it is connected with the u. So df visit g dot v. Since this v is a white undiscovered, so we'll go and visit it again to this. So this is recursive function. So this v is again given to the same function, and when v is assigned here, the timestamp is increased from 1 to 2. So this is second level vertex in the graph. So again time is assigned to that, and we'll make this as a gray because now it has been discovered. If we have any adjacent vertex which is of u, then we'll again check whether it is white. If not white, then we'll further go for next procedure. But if it is white, then we will assign a predecessor u and we'll again send the back for discovery. The timestamp is increased by 1. Timestamp is assigned. The vertex is colored with gray, and then we will check its adjacent vertices. If all the adjacent vertex of u have been colored to gray, or it has been, we will say that it has been visited, then what we do? We say that now this particular vertex has been visited, and we'll make it black, and timestamp is increased by 1, and the timestamp is assigned to the u vertex. So we will understand it with the example. So this example explains the method of understanding. So we have vertices u, v, w, then we have x, y, z. So this particular graph is a directed graph which has directions for the edges, and the first we will try to visit with the vertex u. First of all, almost all the vertices has been visited with a white. So this is what the first stage or the first initialization is defined. U dot color is equal to white and u dot pi is equal to nil. So this is what we do in the first stage, that to initialize almost all the vertices as a white, and they are not being connected to each other. It is mathematically represented that the predecessor of all the vertices are nil. No one is connected to each other. So in the next stage, we will assign time and will collect the first vertex. If it is white, then we will go for visiting it. So this is what we do. The first vertex is white, u is white. That is what we will assign a timestamp 1 to that, and we'll shade it to a gray. This is what it says. We will have to make it gray, and timestamp is assigned to that. So all the adjacent vertex of u, we have selected u as a vertex. So this is u, and the timestamp is assigned 1. Then all the adjacent vertices, this is v and x, are the adjacent to that. So what we have to do? We have to visit them. So for visiting v, we will have to call the function recursively, and for that we'll make this particular edge discovered. This particular edge is valid now, and now we are making u as a predecessor of v. The timestamp is assigned to 2 to v, and it says that now it is shaded with gray. Now v has been recursively called, v has been called. Now we will check the adjacent vertices of it. Y is adjacent to that. So what we do? We will assign a timestamp to y as a 3, and we will check which one is adjacent to this particular vertex, then that is x, so we'll assign a timestamp as a 4 to this particular vertex x, and after that we'll have to check any adjacent vertex to this particular ex. Yes, we have y here, but y is already shaded with gray, so what we do, we will not have to do anything with this, but we observe that almost all the adjacent vertex of this particular x has been visited. Nobody is white, nobody is undiscovered. So what we have to do, we have to make it as a black and add a timestamp to that. So this is what we do. All the vertices are x has been visited. All the vertices of x has been visited. So let's make it black and assign a timestamp to that. So this is 5. So we will have to check now in a recursive way. We will have to go back and see, is any vertex related to y has been visited? Yes, almost all the vertices of y has been visited. So we'll make it black and assign a vertex, assign a timestamp as a 6. So this particular diagram, this particular example is already available in the book. I have intentionally selected this particular algorithm or this particular example because that exists in the book and you can refer it as and when required. So we will check recursively the previous. This V is almost all the vertices of V has been visited. Yes, it has been done. So we'll make it as a black and then we'll go further. Any remaining, yes, this is U. All the vertices of U has been visited. So we'll make it as a black and timestamp is added to this. So what we say, we have a function, we'll say each vertex. So there are remaining vertices available in this graph. So this has not been discovered, W has not been discovered. So we have to check W, yes, W is white. So we have to assign the vertex. We have to assign we will make it as a gray and assign a timestamp to that. So this timestamp has been assigned. So any adjacent vertex of that, yes, we have adjacent vertex. Let's make it as a gray, assign a timestamp to as a 10 to this, and this particular edge has been discovered. Then is any adjacent vertex of this particular Z exist? No, it doesn't. So let's make a timestamp, make it a black and assign a timestamp to this. Then we will check recursively in the whether any vertex related to W is exist in the timestamp or not. No vertex adjacent to W has been exist to be visited. Then we'll make it as a black and assign a timestamp. So this is how we have visited almost all the vertices and it has been represented. So this is how we will implement the algorithm, and we can make use of this very easily for any kind of application during the requirement of the project. So depth first search is a well-known algorithm. Similar to that, we have breadth first search algorithm. Breadth first search algorithm has a strategy of visiting almost all the horizontal vertices. So this depth first search and breadth first search will provide you almost better output, optimum output as per the requirement of the outcome of this particular algorithm. So we will try to understand breadth first search algorithm. It has a graph, this is one of the graph traversal algorithm. So G is equal to V comma E. So all the vertices belong to the vertex V. Again, color are almost similar used in for vertex coloring method. Is a white for not visited or undiscovered. So gray is for discovered and black is for finished if almost all the adjacent vertices of the attribute. So if no predecessor exists in the initial stage, there may be no predecessor exist, then we will make it as a nil. Then start an initial use. We have, see, in this particular graph traversal algorithm, we will have to assign from which particular vertex we are going to start discovering the graph. So we have to initially say that this particular vertex we will be starting with. So we will define some of the vertex in the graph as a starting point, or we'll say that as a source. So from this particular source we will check what is the distance of all the vertices. In the previous algorithm we have used a timestamp, but here we will be using distance from the source in the of the vertices in the graph. So breadth first search uses the queue data structure for execution. So breadth first search algorithm is this. So in this breadth first search algorithm we have for function, but before that we will get a graph as an input to this function and the source S, from which we will be going to start the discovery of the graph. So the same way almost all the vertices of the graph are colored with white, because we will have to mention that all are undiscovered. The distance from the source is an infinity. Initially we will say that those are not connected to each other. So for that particular reason we will have to assign the particular distance of the vertex as infinity. So there is no predecessor, since the vertices are not connected to each other, means they are not having any predecessor. So this is initialization stage. After this initialization stage we know that this S is a starting vertex from where we will be discovering all the vertices of the graph. So let's make it as a gray, because we'll starting from this vertex, so first vertex is made as a gray. So distance of this starting vertex is 0, since we will be starting from that, so there is no distance. 0 is the distance mentioned. There is no predecessor because this is considered as a root or starting vertex source of the graph, so there is no predecessor. So queue data structure is maintained, used, that is why initially we'll make it as an empty file, nothing available in this particular queue. So NQ will insert the starting vertex into the queue S. Then we will have this particular function from while is for the condition is until unless we will go checking the queue as empty will keep doing the job. So this is a condition. So NQ, TQ Q. The queue already we have inserted S as a starting vertex into the queue, will take it out. So now U is equal to S, U is now a starting vertex. So for this particular starting vertex, all the adjacent, every vertex which is adjacent to U should be verified. Is the color white? If yes, then make it as a gray and add a distance to from the source u dot d, because u dot d is now a 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, and we will have to assign the predecessor, the related, or the vertex to which it is connected. Then nq q dot v, and we will add this particular vertex into a queue. And once we have visited all the vertices of that, let's make it to black. We'll understand it with the example. So we have here the graph RS, and there are vertices like RSTU, then VWXY. These are the vertices. So these vertices are connected with the edges. Now in this particular graph, the edges are not directed. They have no direction has been defined. So this is undirected graph. So we will say that S is a starting vertex. Before that we made almost all the vertices with the distance infinity. There is no connection, no predecessor to that. That is what we have done initially here. So almost all the vertices are made white. Then there is infinity distance from the source, and all the related are nil. There is no predecessor there. That is what we have done in the initial stage here. So this particular vertex is starting vertex. So this starting vertex is made to 0. We have made it gray and there is no predecessor to that. And we also have enqueued S, the starting vertex, into the queue. So these 4 stages we have done. So this is made with gray, this particular source is made to colored with gray, and 0 is a start distance from the source, and this has been enqueued into queue. This is a queue and S has been added to that. So we have to check all the adjacent vertices of S are white or not. If it is white, yes, let's make it gray. Let's make it gray. So this W is adjacent to S, so let's make it gray, and this is also made to gray. So we have added W into the queue, R is into a queue, and the distance from source is 1. They are made gray, the distance from source is 1, and they also added into the queue. So this is the second stage. Now we have to, this is what we have done, enqueued, and we will get dequeue, get a next element from a queue. So get a next element from a queue. So the element from we dequeue is W. So W is this. All the adjacent vertices of W are white. Yes, those are white. So let's make it gray. The distance from sources, this is 0, 1 and 2. These are made 2, and we will add these two into the queue. Then R and X are entered into a queue. And since all the vertices are visited which are adjacent to W, let's make it as black. Done. So in the next stage we will dequeue this. So R is dequeue, and after dequeue, so we'll see in the algorithm, we'll dequeue the next element in the queue, and all the adjacent vertices are that. If those are white, make it gray, increase the distance from the source, and connect it to its parent, and add all the elements adjacent vertices into a queue, and then make it black. So the same thing will dequeue from here. This is the R. So this R is, all the adjacent are made gray, the distance is increased, and this is added into a queue. And since all the vertices of R are discovered, so we'll make it black. So here the next stage, what we have to dequeue, the dequeue is V. Let's dequeue it, then visit almost all the vertices related to that, and X, if it is made it gray, the distance is increased, and then we add all the related to that into a queue. So that is why Y is added into a queue. Then dequeue V. There are no adjacent vertex which are white. So let's say that this is darkened with the black, and we have no more things. So U is now dequeue, increase. Any adjacent is white, no adjacent vertices are remaining, so let's make it black. So remaining is Y. So Y is dequeue, and then that also no vertices are white, let's make it black. And now the queue is empty. Since queue is empty, the condition will come out of this loop, and now implementation or execution of breadth first search algorithm is done. So this is how we will understand the strategy of execution of breadth first search algorithm. The shortest path and minimum spanning tree. So there are few applications exist for breadth first search. This is used in shortest path or minimum tree finding, which are unweighted graph. So peer-to-peer network implementation like BitTorrent is also possible using breadth first search algorithm. We have many more algorithms. Few of them are explained here. Pearls in search engines, pathfinding algorithm. Finding all nodes within one connected component is also implemented or executed in this particular algorithm. So this is how we can implement the breadth first search and depth first search algorithm very easily and execute the required things of that into different applications. So I hope you understood today's session. Thank you. Thanks.